Hello everyone, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 5th edition, where I play Baldur's Gate 3, but I add additional rules and complications to make it feel more like the standard tabletop Dungeons & Dragons experience. For example, if you joined us last episode, you'll know that just along this corridor there is a door, just off camera there, and behind that door are about 40 goblins and bugbears and one dead corpse of one of our previous allies. Lae'zel lays there with almost all of the party's gold and many of our other possessions, and so I don't think that is a viable way out for us. We have a potion of invisibility, but only one. Lae'zel is dead, and so all of this stuff in her inventory, whilst the game would technically say, these two bloodstones, I could take them from Lae'zel's pocket and put them in Shadowheart's pocket. But that would have just teleported from one pocket to another, which is not how tabletop works. So we'll just put that back. So we have what we have on our persons, mainly an potion of invisibility, potions of speed if we wanted to get double actions and lots of dashing going. Lump's Warhorn is something that I'd completely forgotten about. We could have summoned Lump in that fight. Lump and his two friends. And if you do so, here's the really annoying thing, here's the catch. If you do that, he will let you pay, I think it's another 500 gold, to reapply the deal that you have to come back and use the horn again for a second and third time, which at the moment, between the three party members that are alive, we don't have that much gold, so we're not going to be able to do that either. So now we have a decision to make: try and go out of the front door again, which doesn't seem like something that I'm really that into right now, or
step lightly,
delve into the Underdark in this direction, which I think is basically the only option we have considering what's going on outside. There is some more content that I would like to have investigated up on the surface, but right now, through that gang of goblins and everyone else, I just don't see us having the capabilities of doing so. I know, obviously as the player, not that the characters and heroes would know this, that there is a trader down in the Underdark in the Myconid village. So if we can get down there, we can sell a bunch of our extra stuff, which will then give us the capability of using Lump's Warhorn multiple times. But to do that, we have to get there, and that's going to be tricky in its own right. So we previously did this puzzle in order to get to the Underdark, because down here we took a long rest when we really needed it after fighting all the goblins in the temple. So we're going to hop back down this ladder, if the video game will let me use a ladder, which it should, because this is more like a quick travel thing rather than an actual ladder that we mechanically have to go up and down. And we get to here.
quick step.
Now, we could take a short rest here. We would get back HP and a couple of, not even spell slots. Astarion would get his bite back and things. Or we could take a long rest so that we have our best chance of getting from where we are to, I think that shelf there is the Myconid village, but if you know the threat that might be between us, then you know. If you don't know the threat that might be between us, then oh boy, what a mystery. The other thing we could potentially do, and we would need to get up to the surface to do it, is we could go and recruit Gale. Because as much as we're not using aggressive magic this run, I'm sure he must have some kind of buff, or like even if he just spammed grease to try and aid our escape or something. It's something that could be done. I don't want to click that button, I want to click this button. I'm gonna go and camp again. We should need less supplies to do this with only 3 mouths to feed, not 4.
Something's wrong. I feel... What the... Darkness, protect me.
Are you hurt?
No. I'm fine. Forget it.
Alright. Okay, so we're at our campsite. And it's just the three of us. No corpse of Lae'zel here. Astarion wants to have a word before we eat.
Looking at something.
How did you know I was here?
The only benefit to a mirror when you have my condition, it doesn't quite make up for the lack of a reflection, mind you.
Do you miss it? Seeing your own face?
Preening in the looking glass. Petty vanity. Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red.
What colour were they before?
I don't know. I can't remember. My face is just some dark shape in my past. Another thing I've lost.
For you maybe, but I like what I see.
And what do you see? Exactly.
The creases when you laugh.
Excuse me. I'm an eternally young vampire. Not your doting grandmother. You can do better. What else?
Are we suddenly flirting? I guess we've decided to start flirting. The way your hair curls around your ears.
This is meant to be flattery, not poetry. Just tell me I'm beautiful and we can call it a day.
You are beautiful. You don't have Lae'zel's charms. No, she's a corpse now.
Observant. Mirrors aren't much use, but being reflected in someone else's eyes? Well, I could do worse.
Oh, somebody get me a cold shower, eh? Right, we are just going to sleep and eat and be gone. We do still need 40 hit points, even though there's only 3 of us. Is this enough stuff? Oh, that's cruel. Alright, so we're eating the food supplies, as in the supply pack. We'll take a full rest, and then head down into the Underdark to see what progress we can make with 3. Seems like nothing's going bump in the night down here. Okay, we're back at the outpost. The next thing to do is worry about this thing.
At the ready.
If we walk up to the gate...
Get back.
More effort than a kit of spikes. Credit where it's due.
Yeah, that rat's not having a good time, and so I don't want to be having as bad a time as that rat. But I do want this shiny helmet. So, for anyone with proficiency in, I believe, medium armor, we can protect ourselves against critical hits, which seems far more important than a +1 in nature at the moment. Although, we are in the Underdark, so it might have its merits. Shadowheart, what are you wearing on your head? Alright, you're getting an upgrade instead of a circlet. So, Frobo is protected against critical hits. That's nice. We can't benefit from a Scroll of Guiding Bolt because it's an offensive spell, and we don't do that as this party. So, we need to deal with this. That drops the magical spell that's protecting out front. I don't need any boots or light hammers. So, somewhere around here there is a switch. We can throw the switch and carry on our way. Before we carry on our way, I want to make sure that Frobo has a potion of Hill Giant Strength. That may become important later. We also have a Void Bulb here and a Void Bulb there. Here a Void, there a Void, everywhere a Void Bulb. Is anyone not wearing any other kind of helmet? You have the nature circlet. You've got the big one, and you're wearing a leather one, aren't you? Helmet of grit. Okay, should make sure I pay attention to that. Otherwise, I think we're okay to begin our way down into the Underdark.
Not as bad as it could have.
Let's give somebody... Is anyone wearing armor that gives disadvantage on stealth checks? Because if they are, they should get the blessing. Disadvantage on stealth rolls. Disadvantage on stealth rolls. Yeah, both of them. So, Shadowheart is giving Frobo extra help in his stealth rolls as we move through here. Because, of course, there is the chance that some of these encounters might have changed. And so, I do want to take care as we start to peek our way through the Underdark, trying to get to the Myconoid village across the way. But to do that, we're going to have to be very careful. Have we left Shadowheart behind? We did, because she stopped stealthing to cast her special spell, which is not a spell, it's just a trickster cleric thing. Do we have the whole party together now? Are we all going to move as one? Yes, okay. My brain said that I should do something and I can't remember what that thing was. I was like, oh, you should change that in your inventory before you go on. It might have been. Shadowheart we just rested with, so I feel changing a spell right now is not against the spirit of things that we do. I have totally forgotten that we can swap spell slots, if I'm really honest. We're going to drop hold person and we're going to gain aid. And we're going to cast aid right now before we delve further in. Bolster your allies with toughness and resolve, heals and increases their hit point maximum by 5 points. So we all now have 5 extra max HP. Shadowheart can sneak again. And now we will be off down the hill and no more changing of spells now that we are adventuring proper. I knew there was something my brain wanted me to do. So, there's all kinds of strange plants down here.
Fungal spores are everywhere.
Yes, yes they are. And these strange plants are everywhere as well, which could cause us unknown grief.
More are coming.
That voice. What was that?
They're coming. They're coming.
Still your mind to this unusual voice.
Careful. If we can hear it, perhaps it can hear us.
They're coming. You're coming.
They're not talking about Astarion and I in bed last night, are they? Okay. So, is that another... God, we've got so much going on. Rapport spores. Affected creatures communicate telepathically with one another. So we have that going on, as well as aid, Sylvanas' blessing, blessing of the trickster, heavily obscured and hiding.
Tim asks, known to cause confusion, best not get too close.
Oh, that is quite the cloud of spores. Let's give that a minute before we try and walk through there.
Stepping softly.
Right.
Silent as the grave.
If you've played this area before, you may know what I'm trying to preempt. If you don't know this area, then you might be in as big a surprise as I am.
The hells was that? We better not get buried down here.
I guess we got lucky. or we're about to be very unlucky. One of the two. And there is the unlucky. So the game has put us in turn-based mode. I don't think there's anything that we can really do right now. We have actions and stuff, but I don't know what it might want us to do with this turn. So let's end our turn and see what happens here. Oh, shh. Okay. Shadowheart died. And I don't even know where she is now. And none of the other two heroes, Astarion and Frobo, are capable of casting Restoration. Holy cow. This got horrendous. Well, there's the bullet. That's the thing that is causing our woes. My question is, if I were to get across here, let's action dash, put ourselves here with our 25 feet of movement, because we are a halfling. That's not going to do it. I was wondering if we might be able to pull them off of this cliff. Instead, we're going to action surge then. How about a pushing attack? That's not going to get them off either. I mean, at that point, otherwise we're just best attacking than anything else, I suppose. No, the smart thing to have done would have been to menacing attack and try and make it be afraid. That would have been the smart thing to do. Frobo, have a potion of speed, my man. So that gives us a third action, which we can then use to menacing attack. Okay. That's clearly some kind of bug. It made the save. Okay, Astarion, what can you do from over here? Crossbow is not going to look like it's doing too much. How are we for equipment? We have a void bulb. What I need to know is, do these mushrooms have physical texture? Wish us luck. Because this side, we could do this side, but Frobo might get caught in the fray. Man, it just took 1 damage? What's this thing made out of? Just 1,000 pounds of heft, I guess. Well, that didn't go great. Do we want to use a bonus action? I guess I don't want to be at the side of the cliff anymore. And then it's the bullet's turn. And there's Frobo taking 26 damage. Okay, we have 2 actions because we're still under the haste condition from our previous turn. We also have 55 movement speed. So here's plan B. We're going to put ourselves right here, and we're going to consume that potion of Hill Giant Strength. So currently, Frobo's strength stat is 10, which gives him a +0 modifier to his strength stat, which means his weapon attack is only +2 because it's +2 is our proficiency bonus with a weapon with which we are proficient. However, if we consume this with our bonus action, our strength becomes 21 temporarily, which means our melee attack now has +7 from 2 on our proficiency and 5 from our strength score. So then we can use a melee pushing attack, and I think that red circle means that this cannot happen, but it could happen to Shadowheart, so I don't understand what the rules here are anymore. Man, this is horrible. We're going to take a opportunity attack now if we try and move away. It makes the saving throw again on trying to not be afraid. Astarion, is there something you would like to do? I don't think any of this stuff is going to help us. Not that we could cast it if we wanted to. Acid arrow, fire arrow, necrotic damage arrow. None of these things are going to solve this problem for us any faster than we need it to be solved, I think. We also do not have... We've not lost very much HP. Frobo has lost a good amount, but we've... Do we still have a bonus action?
Keep going.
We don't. We've used a haste potion and a potion of Hill Giant strength potion in all of this. Okay. Targets hit by the explosion potentially take an extra 1d4 cold damage. That doesn't really help us. Antitoxin, poison resistance, cold resistance, fire resistance. I don't know what to do. Alright, let's shoot this at it, because why not? It makes its saving throw. Let's get in closer, because we can. Okay, it has 34 hit points left, which is really good considering it's just the two of us. And Astarion is down. He got 1 hit in that. If I give you 8 hit points, you should have 8 hit points and be up. No. See, he should have 8 hit points and be up, and I'm mad about it. But so be it. We are out of superiority die. So now we're just left to attack with our extra big strength. And apparently its AC is so high that even with a +7 we have almost no chance of killing it. It might be because we're in the dark and halflings don't have dark vision, and I've forgotten that key detail. Turn-based mode, or help him, help. Okay. We got to him before our lethargy from our potion came in. Let's take a short rest. There's some health and bits. And that is the bullet fight, if any of you had not seen it before. And then it runs away, and we may well encounter it again later.
Watch your back.
So, unceremoniously, rest in peace, Shadowheart. We have lost our spellcasting support and healer, which is just a terrible time. I'm going to let a bunch of these plants do their thing.
Timask. The spores confuse the senses.
I'm going to take out as many of these as we can before we try and get closer. wait for these spores to clear.
One step at a time.
And then approach these lovely looking fellows.
You are swallowed by a chorus of turbulent music. Through one creature sings many voices, the harmony of an entire collective.
Sovereign, he has come. He is here.
The choir fades. A single melody rises above the others, brassy and command. You see a vision, your lifeless body wrapped in fungal tendrils. The Sovereign is threatening you.
Let's see, what do we want to do? Tell the truth of the parasite. We only seek safe passage for search of treatment.
Fungal roots weave through your mind, seeking your true intent. Then the Sovereign drones a new melody, cautious but welcoming.
Descend to me, let us speak in flesh.
The persistent music coaxes you forward. The Sovereign expects you.
Well, 2 of our party made it this far. Join me next time where we will move into the Myconid camp, see what interactions there are to be had here, what rest and potential healing we might find, and where our adventure will go from here. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please do consider subscribing or hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.